Alex Wallace here, and I just wanted to do a quick video for you on 3 ways that you can feel fuller longer. So before we get into point number 1, let me just kind of paint a picture for you. Maybe this is something that you can relate to. Let's say you work all day, you get home, after you sit down, you give yourself a second, you start to realize how hungry you are. And as fast as you can put food in your mouth is as fast as you're reaching for more food. So it's basically a binge. You're not taking your time to eat it at all. You're not actually eating a meal. You might be preparing a meal, but the entire time that you're preparing that meal, you're binging on whatever is in the kitchen, whether it's pretzels, whether it's chips, whether it's cereal, anything you can get your hands on. You're almost like a machine. You're just, as fast as you can put it in your mouth, you're reaching for more of it. This behavior right here will absolutely ruin a diet. That being said, you can actually stem a lot of that. So the first way to feel fuller longer is actually giving yourself time to feel full. It's not an instantaneous thing from the second you actually swallow food for your brain to recognize that you might be getting full. It actually takes some time. So if you're one of these people that work all day, maybe you skip meals, obviously that's less than ideal, but if you find yourself binging at the end of the day, the first thing you need to do is give yourself time to feel full. That way you feel fuller longer. You don't want to go from absolutely famished to completely stuffed with nothing in between. You want to give yourself time. There are studies out there, plenty of them, that show you should wait 15 to 20 minutes after you eat your first helping of whatever it is before you actually recognize if you're feeling full. So this is the strategy. If you're a binge eater or if you're somebody who's trying to just feel full and not just overstuffed, is put some food aside, whether it's a handful of pretzels or potato chips, whatever it is that you're gonna eat that, what you put aside, instead of just shoveling it into your mouth, and then wait 15 minutes, wait 20 minutes. And after that, if you're still hungry, just repeat the process. But if you're just shoveling food in your mouth, you're gonna aggregate a ton of calories before you actually recognize if you're full. So that's strategy number 1. Give yourself time to feel full. That way you can feel fuller longer without over-consuming. The second strategy, after you finish a meal or whatever it is that you ate, whether you're using strategy number 1 in conjunction with this or after you eat something, drink a lot of water. It doesn't have to be excessive, a gallon of water or anything like that, but for me, about 15 minutes after I eat, I drink 32 ounces of water. And oftentimes that really fills me up. I may want to eat more food after I've had what I think I should have, or if you're doing MyFitnessPal or you're pre-planning your meals, I'll put a link up here so you can watch that video. If you're doing that strategy and you might feel afterwards, oh man, I'm still hungry, I should eat something else. Slow down, drink 20 to 32 ounces of water, and then wait. I think you're gonna find you're not quite as hungry after you do that. So that's the second strategy. After a meal or after a serving of food, drink a substantial amount of water. It might make you feel full longer. And the last strategy is really a 3-part process. This is how I want you to plan your meals. Obviously, if you're somebody using MyFitnessPal, then that's fantastic. But if you're somebody that's taking more of a 50,000 foot view, more of a global approach, something that's not quite as much tracking, then these are the 3 steps you need to take, whether you're gonna have a serving of something or you're planning your meal. Step number 1, more vegetables. Step number 2, more protein. And step number 3, less processed. Let's dig into this. More vegetables. The reason being is because really twofold. 1, it's usually high in fiber and it's a lot of volume of food. So fiber is something that can make you feel full longer. So you can actually have that high volume of food and fiber, which will make you feel fuller longer. Second reason is because vegetables are one of those things that you have to eat slowly. It's really hard to eat, a bowl of broccoli super quickly, especially if it's raw vegetables. It's nearly impossible. So again, you are combining strategy number 1 and also getting fiber in, which will help you feel fuller longer. Number 2, more protein. Reason being, same thing with fiber. It's just a macronutrient that will make you feel more satiated. So again, number 1, more vegetables. Number 2, more protein. Number 3, less processed. So we can get into a long debate on what that actually means, what less processed actually means. But to me, what it means is there are less steps from what it is in its quote unquote natural state to when it hits your plate. So for instance, something like oatmeal to me would be less processed than something like a Pop-Tart. Yes, many of the component parts are the same, but there are a lot more additives in something like a Pop-Tart than there is something like oatmeal. And if you think about it, having 300 calories worth of oatmeal is actually quite filling versus you could have 600 calories in Pop-Tarts and you dip that in milk and you could probably do some more. Again, those are the 3 steps of strategy number 3. So more vegetables, more protein, less processed. Just to recap on the 3 strategies in general, number 1, give yourself time to feel full. That way you can feel fuller longer. Number 2, after you're done with a meal or a serving of food, have an adequate amount of water, 20 to 32 ounces. I think that's gonna help cut down on grazing and help you feel fuller longer. And then strategy number 3 is a 3-step process when you're planning your meals or when you're getting a serving of whatever it is. Say you're out to eat, say you're at a party, more vegetables, more protein, less processed. Those are the steps you need to take. If you like the video, don't forget to like the video. If you found the content helpful, make sure you subscribe. I'm Alex Wallace. I'm here at Wallace Training Systems. We got Wallace Fitness Center, and I'll see you in the next video.